Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Wendy.
And here we are. Another week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
I love our catch-ups. I just love, it's just a great way to break up the week, the old hump day. We record these on a Wednesday and you get them sorted to get on Spotify and Acast and ready for me to upload into YouTube. And so it's a great way to break up the week. I think I just like it. It's great.
Yeah, it's not our normal work thing, is it?
No.
Well, it kind of is, but it's
not.
Well,
it is, because we're talking stuff.
Yeah, and it's something that we've got planned in every week. It's a commitment that we've made to each other that we'll show up.
That's exactly, so. and to our listeners, we're showing up for you.
That's exactly right. And whether or not it's for, what we talk about is for you that particular week, but it's certainly something that we've gone through that we think is worthy of a chat. So
absolutely.
And this week we're going to talk about what do we put on our to-do list that really doesn't need to be there, or we don't need to be there. So not that it doesn't need to be there, because if it's there, it's got to be done, but it's a conscious thought that it's got to be done.
Yes.
But it's about the expectations around when we have to get that done by, I guess.
Yes, we really do. And we were briefly chatting before we came on, and that's how we came up with this. And that's how we usually come up with most of our weekly topics, is because Wendy and I usually have a bit of a chat, and then something comes up and we go, that's what we're going to talk about this week. And I was just saying that I have done what I love to do, and that's I've booked a trip and I'm going Friday. And that's for my husband. 12 months ago, I tried to get him to do that, and he was just like flat out, no way. But the stupid thing I was saying to Wendy when I woke up this morning, I was like, I've got to do this and I've got to do that, and I've got to, blah, 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 blah. I'm going for 5 days. I'm not going for the rest of the year.
And I'm the same. I've got a business commitment that's Thursday night, Friday and Saturday. And here I am, I've got to get the house clean, I've got to get some meal prep, I've got to go shopping for the food, make sure the dog's taken care of, blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
everybody at home will take care of the dog. They will feed themselves if you've got the shopping there. Like, there's so many of those things. And if the house doesn't get clean till you get home, big deal.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly it. But I do it every time. If I've got a commitment on, and I guess it's because I clean usually on a Sunday, but I'm going to be I've got this business commitment. I don't want to have, so Sunday mornings now, I have a commitment every Sunday morning to my dog, and we go to canine classroom. And so he's just gone up a level. So the time has gone back. So we used to be at 9, now we're at 10. So my cleaning day is kind of in a bit of chaos there, because I used to be able to get home, get him settled, and then I would be able to just, because he would be tucking out, I could get in and get everything done that I wanted to get done. Yep. Where now it's kind of like the middle of the day. So I was really conscious that I want to get the house clean, because I don't want to be having to do that, like run from the business commitment to this to that, and then come home and I'm exhausted and I've got to, look at the words I'm using. I'm exhausted. I won't be
shaking my head going, are you listening to yourself?
Yeah.
What do we do to ourselves?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It's about this, that little internal dialogue.
Absolutely. I must admit, I'm a bugger too as well. Like today, I know that I've got to go up and do a few things. Well, yesterday I knew I had to do some stuff, and it was like, I'll leave that to tomorrow. And I used to do that in the corporate world too, I would put the people side of everything always first. And then at the 10th hour, I might be writing a brief for the minister, and always got it done. It was never like I didn't get it done. But how much pressure do we put on ourselves that's unnecessary?
Yeah, but how much of it is habitual? How much of it is it where did it start? When did we start doing that? And, you know, a lot of mine is the same as you. It's from the corporate life. Like
Absolutely,
you do,
yeah.
you know, there's all these things that you must do. You've got to get them done. You've got to get them done. You've got to get them done.
Yes.
And you put yourself under pressure when it's not necessarily, you know, the best way of working. And you know,
yeah,
always talk about the time management is about us having the ability to be able to get a balance in our lives, really.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
It
you
is.
know, we can have that, all the hoo-ha of, you know, the corporate way of looking at time management and stuff, but it really is about prioritizing what needs to be done, what would we like to do, what, and you know, our do nothing. We need to be able to put in there some do nothing time.
And I have become very good at do nothing. I have.
Is that a sarcasm, or is that like legitimate?
No.
Yeah.
As you know, and the listeners probably know as well, after my last gig in December, I think it was the 19th or whatever, I don't even know what it was, I actually took a summer break and I haven't been back at work yet. Obviously, I have had clients in between that are regular clients or clients that I won't say no to because they're regulars. And, you know, just keeping up on my socials and stuff like that. But I literally have put tools down and I have become very good, so good that I've actually put on lots of weight because I'm doing lots of sitting around. And so 2 days ago, I went, right, that's it. It's time to start changing things. And this is a little bit relevant, but irrelevant. So I went out and did a big shop and I've chopped up the celery and the carrots and the cucumbers and the beans. And so that instead of getting a snack that I shouldn't have, I'm going to grab a snack with some hummus that's veg and things like that. And then I book a trip to go away in 2 days. So, you know, go figure the logic about it. But I think that's just where my energy is at the moment. I had someone tell me today that they're off with the fairies, and that's probably very much, I'm either with the fairies or I'm loading myself up with so much stuff that then I go, oh my God, I've got to get this done. And I'll be up till midnight doing it.
Yeah. So it's finding that happy balance, isn't it, really?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, like I said, I think I've said on here before, you know, I'm doing my 21 spiritual laws, and that means that I can't do my normal late night in the office. So I have to be fairly well on task. And in there's like, I have a real commitment to zero inbox, which I let get out of hand over Christmas. And it started with Black Friday, really. I really didn't anticipate the amount of volume of emails that I would get from there. And so much so that it's been a work in progress to go in and remove myself from subscriptions and that kind of thing. And then, you know, Christmas and then Boxing Day sales, and, you know, everyone's starting their year off with all the, you know, motivational stuff.
Junk.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably not junk to them, but when it becomes junk to me, when I don't have the time or the capacity, or then I get the anxiety about where I'm going to read first or whether I even read it. So then I just delete it.
Do you know that and I did this quite a number of years back. When automated email delivery started, like when you're in, you know, when you set up your workflows and you have an automated email system that your contact manager, and you set up the reminders, the emails, the automated emails to go out, you know, 72 hours out, 48 hours out, 24 hours out, you know, on the day, you know, that it's closing at, you know, 12 hours and at 6 hours and at 3 hours and then an hour before. Well, I went to, you know, I had a look at who the sender was in all of my emails that I was getting bogged down with, and went to those, because I think, and I mean, you know what, I'm a coach, like I coach business, but there's got to be a level of respect.
Oh, totally.
In you,
how much spam you send people,
not abusing the liberty of being, you know, allowed into someone's inbox. And I believe that that is crucial in us doing business. I know that there's certain teachings out there of how you must do it, how you should do it. Well, I don't should all over myself for a start, but the big thing is that I want to treat people how I want to be treated. And
Yes.
that is with respect.
Yes.
That inbox, when I give you that email account, I'm not giving you that so that you can absolutely put your need for my business in my lap. That's not what it's about. It's an offer. And if I want to choose the offer, I will choose the offer. If I don't want to choose the offer, it means that I don't want it. And so the more emails I got, I just went with those particular service providers, the actual platforms that they were using, and I just deleted all of those. Now, there were some great businesses in there and people I wanted to stay in touch with, but I deleted all of those. And I've used that as a waiting tool now in my inbox now, because it is not something that you get the liberty of being able to hound me because you need to make a sale and you really do, you really want my business.
To me, that's desperate.
It's coming desperate. It's coming across as desperate, not as I've got something that I believe will be really good for you. And if you don't get it this time, maybe on the next round.
Not to say, you know what, we are so swamped with emails in our inboxes, and you and I are the same. We both have a number of inboxes, different things that we've got going on. And wow, I don't have the time for that. And I must admit, I now go through and sort, and I love my iPhone for it, for the simple reason that, and I don't know if you can do it on other phones. I'm not aware, but I can't do it on my computer. But on my iPhone, it just brings up unsubscribe in the corner, and I just hit unsubscribe, and it just makes it so much easier but I'm like you. I don't believe you should be invading someone's inbox just for the sake of sending them a message. I'm about
quality over quantity.
If I've got something I want to share with you, like an event coming up, a freebie, a new blog out, that's when I will connect with you. Because I feel if you want something from me in the meantime, you come to me if that's what you really want. And that's just my personal opinion, and I'm by far no expert. But that works for me.
Yeah. And I believe in having a regular, whether it's monthly, whether it's bi-monthly, a newsletter that you can let people know what you're doing. And you know, like right now, our business is having a really brilliant promo. That's when those emails go out to people. You know, you're letting people know that this is a great time to get this. Like,
don't miss out on this.
Yeah. And if it's not for them, it's not for them. There's no, you must get it, you must get it, you must get it. I just don't think that that's right. But you know, and so that whole, I was, you know, my commitment to zero inbox. I was like beating myself up because I hadn't got it back to zero. I was like, hang on a second, that's going to wait, because I can get that back to zero by committing to this much time using the Pomodoro method. So 25 minutes, I give it 25 minutes, get in, do what I need to do. There's some in there that you just know. I can unsubscribe to those and I can get rid of those straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's others there that I'll put I'll put into a box to say, you know what, this is important. I need to get to this while I'm still going through. So 25 minutes is enough. And then I take a break. But I'm listening to a really good book at the moment, and it's about switching our brain on, as in being able to, I've got a manual here that I have to read for my exam. And so I was like, at my age,
what do you mean at your age?
The retaining of information is, you know, and I think it is subconsciously, I'm just going, do I really need that, or is that just shit? You know,
Yeah,
because
no,
it's the grey matter can only hold so much.
absolutely.
You know,
That's what I said to you. Like when I look at my inbox and I see all these emails and I go, oh my God. And then I look at the content and I think, oh, I want that. I don't know which one will I look at? And then in the end, I just go, I don't have time for any of these, and I just delete the lot. So then I end up missing out on what I probably would have wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So this audio book, you can buy it in, and they prefer you to buy it in the physical, but I spend I in the physical, like at the hard copy.
Oh, okay, yep, the hard.
But I do a lot of mine. I do a lot of my reading in the car. Like I listen to audiobooks
or just
every
while
journey.
I'm sitting working or something, I might have my AirPods in.
Yeah. And it's called Limitless, and it is about
yes.
It's a really good book about how to switch your brain on and retain information and be able to read something. I know that I've got books here. You know, everyone knows I've been completing my yoga studies, and we had an extensive book list. And some of them were really laborious books, like really tedious to read. So you're reading the same chapter. You're making it go longer because you're reading the same chapter like 5 and 6 and 7 times to try and retain the information. Whereas now this here is helping me with being able to, you know, going forward. I've done my yoga stuff, but going forward, like with my manuals and stuff, because my days are so busy, I haven't got the time to be able to dedicate just to be able to sit and do that. If I'm reading a book, it's to wind my mind down before bed. It's not something that I want to have to retain, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and that's that balance of me time. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and that book that you're talking about, it's by Jim Quick, and it's a very, very good book. He actually talks about how he had to learn to retain information, didn't he, when he was young?
Yeah, because he had an accident.
Yes.
And so it is a really, really good book to as far as being able to help. There's exercises in there. The audio book gives you access to the online resources, which is really good. I haven't been able to pick up the.
Is that the right one, Jim Quick? Because there's a lot. I'm just having a quick look in Audible now, and there's quite a lot of Limitless in there.
There is quite a lot.
There's about 5 or 6 different Limitless, and the one I'm familiar with is the Jim Quick, which is what I've got. So, just for the audience out there, just so that
it is.
We're not
Jim Quick as in KWIK.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to be sending them off on a
wild goose chase.
Yeah.
So that's my that's my business one at the moment. There's another one that I've got that I've been given the name of. I can't put my finger on it right now, but it's another one that I really want to have a look at. And there's another good book too. What's it? 2 weeks. Let me tell you what it is. Amy Porterfield's just written it.
Okay.
And 2 weeks notice it's called. And it's just about helping people to get be able to move out of being in a corporate life or in a paid job to knowing that they can give 2 weeks notice, so they can actually pursue what's on their heart. So and
Wendy and I are very similar in we often read the similar books, but we also I'm actually crazy about Plan B. This book, look at it. If you can actually see the cover, you can see it's like a dog's breakfast. Looks like the dog's dragged it around the backyard. But I actually also have this on Audible, and I also have her other book as well, which is The Life Plan. But I found, and Wendy knows, how I was going through a bit of a foggy moggy place just not very long ago, just in the last few weeks. And it was like last, I don't know, probably even Saturday. I mean, Wendy did say, I do remember Wendy telling me last Wednesday I sounded a lot better. But Saturday even I got more clarity. And I believe it's because I've gone back to, I had become really, really poor with my own self-care. So I've gone back to, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the US Anderson work, where I'm listening to the universal power of the mind, and I'm doing that every day again now for 6 weeks. It's just a really powerful meditation that was around, I think, in the bloody 1940s or something. No, actually, it might have even been the 1800s. And so I've gone back to that. I'm actually back journaling again. And I'm back, doing this sort of stuff, because that has some amazing exercises. And I use a lot of that work for my own coaching, as well as the Louise Hay work. But I've got to use it on myself first.
Yeah. And that's the big thing. And I think, that dedication to, and whilst we all think, we can go with the flow, in actual fact, we're all pretty well creatures of habit for our greater well-being. Creatures of habit is that you have the same kind of dedication to yourself.
Absolutely.
And for me, it is, I get on the yoga mat, like I have my religious, tongue scraping, oiling, salting gums, meditation, get on the yoga mat, stretch out. Then it's time, now I've got my boy, I take it, like that's time for him to go outside. I make a cup of tea, I cook breakfast, and that's before I do anything. And then, like, by the time I've done that, it's time to go in, make the bed, have a shower, and the day started. Like that's just the routine. And then throughout the day, included in that is that ability to be able to write down. But I will pick up that journal whenever I need to during the day. If there's something going on for me in thought, whether it's a bright spark or whether it's a shitty thought, I want to get it out. I don't want to store it in. And the reason being is, if it's a bright spark, I can have 20 bright sparks and not remember the first one.
That's exactly right.
And that's because there's just too much going on with the grey matter. I'm sure.
Totally, I agree.
Yeah.
And it is, and it's crazy. And it was only that I now that I've been doing this again for like a week, I was like, oh my God, that's why I've had such a foggy head. I can't say I'm still clear in my direction, because I know that I'm going through a full transformation, and I know that I am changing, and I've been doing that for a little while. Now I'm still, I have decided to go with the flow with that a lot more than what I prepared to do before. I used to try and resist it. So now I'm letting that go. But I'm finding, by getting back into my self-care, which I tell my clients all the time, which I'm hammering down their doors about doing this stuff.
And so it comes down to,
it reminds me
our integrity says
really
that
is.
we can't we can't put someone in the same direction if we don't do it ourselves. So
it's really important. And look, when it comes to the direction and stuff where I'm headed, I'm actually undecided, because I'm at a crossroads in my life, and it's not that I don't want to be. Like, I'm actually at that crossroads because I'm choosing to be at the moment.
I think we all are. I think both of us are. I have a look at and I know this, but I've got to my age now, and like in my business world, a large amount of the people that are in one stream of my business, they're all 30, 40 somethings. They've got way different drive. They've got way different passion. They've got way different purpose than what I have at my age, because I've done that. I've already been there and done that. And now I know what's important to me and what I want out of life. And what I want to offer people now is vastly different to what it was when I was in that space. But there's kind of this, it's kind of like a waiting, as in, not as in weight, as in time weight, but waiting as in scales. That the importance is put on far more of those younger thoughts than what they are on. And so there's like a projection that we should be doing the comparison thing. Are you doing what they're doing?
Yes.
Like, because that's why you're not doing, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I totally know what you mean.
It's
I totally know what you mean. And I only had this discussion yesterday in a coaching session. And it was like, well, what do you really love? What is your passion?
mm,
And when we went through it, it was like, well, that was her passion, but she actually still doesn't know if that's what she wants to do anymore. And I could really relate to that because, you know, anyone that knows me, I love my one-on-ones with my clients. I absolutely love my group sessions. I love my retreats. And when I'm in that space and I'm working with those people, I transform to something that the feedback I get is pretty incredible, and it changes people's lives.
Yep.
But actually getting into that space, I don't know that that's where I want to be anymore. I don't know what I want to do.
Well, you know that we've just finished my room, and I've got I've got things happening down there, and now I think, do I really want to be committed to face-to-face this time?
No, I get that, Wendy. I do get that.
Yeah. So I'm very choosy with how much time I'm spending face-to-face. I'm very choosy with, and you know, there's a lot of training going to be happening in that room, not just by me.
No, that's right.
But yeah, I will start to concentrate. So there'll be like my monthly oil trainings, and there's other people that are going to be having workshops and training sessions in there. So the room itself will be functional. But in saying that, I'm not going to be down there all the time.
No, it's navigating your role in that.
Yeah, yeah. And so it will, like, I've taken my main therapy beds down there. So all of my clients now, my one-on-one clients that I'm doing, will all happen down there. Yeah. Because my what was my therapy room now is going back to being a bedroom. So that the house is getting back to a little bit of normality, where my business is not necessarily in smack bang in the middle of the whole family. So
yes. And I do understand that. No, because I was actually also chatting with a lady that does also run retreats, women's retreats, and she's gone through an amazing transformation like we are experiencing ourselves. So, you know, if we're doing this and we're doing the work every single day, you're probably out there going through something crazy and you don't know what it is either. But she was saying that she has a very successful retreat business. She runs 5 retreats a year in different places: Victoria, Byron, Queensland, and I think, was it Tassie maybe? I can't remember. And she was saying that she herself has had to take a sabbatical. She went over to India to try and find herself because so much in her personal life has changed ridiculously. And she's come back and she's honouring a couple of the retreats. And now, and she's actually said all retreats after this particular date are now cancelled until further notice.
Yeah.
She said, I just need to find who I am.
Yeah.
And that's okay to do that. I think it's really important that you do that.
That's right.
If that's how you're feeling.
Yeah, it is. We are, we're not trees. We're not meant to stay in the same.
No.
And even a tree evolves, you know, goes from a sapling through to you know, have a look at the oak tree, you know, it goes from an acorn to a sapling to, you know, right the way through to this tree of wisdom, you know.
Yes.
So we're the same, but we're not stuck in the same place. We're meant to grow and transform and do what we're called to do in life. And that's the big thing.
Okay to change. I was chatting with a girlfriend just recently, and if she listens to this, she'll know exactly who she was. And she'll be going, that's me, she was talking to me. But she was saying, you know, you've got so much on the go, you've got this happening and that happening. And I said, but I need to do that. That's who I am. Because I need to know what I don't want. But also, too, there's certain things that you do in the business process. You know, that you might do a 5-day challenge, and then from there you offer a training program that then moves them into your your membership. Then might take them into a one-on-one when it comes to your coaching sequence. There's lots of, that's just one of very many. But there's certain things that you know, that is a business process that's proven. So you have to be able to pivot and change.
Yeah.
And it might look like you're doing all these different things, but you're actually just doing a sequence, I guess, is the easiest way to describe it.
It's the same process, just with a different base. Like the same base process, just with a different, like you're doing a different freebie or you're doing a different,
that's right,
a different offer.
And I do get bored very easily. The process
is the same.
You know, if I get something and it's working brilliantly, and I've done this throughout my corporate world too, if I was doing a job and it was a successful outcome that was happening and the program was running well, because I used to often create programs and then implement them. And once they were implemented, I was gone because I was bored as bats. And I tend to find I do a little bit the same here. When I get something that's going really well, I'm then looking around for the next thing. And that's okay. You've got to just understand you and what your needs are. And because, and now she really will know who it is, because her star sign to me is so different. I'm an Aquarian and she's a Virgo.
Yeah.
So it's like we're totally different in different worlds out there. And I sometimes, after I get off a call, I think, oh, maybe I need to pull that back in again. And then I have to remind myself, no, that's me and that's how I do things. And that works for me.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit concerned about that. And I had been talking about it to another coach about that. And they're like, no. If that works for you, you have to work what's working within your parameters, because others people are very structured. They need that structure. They need to have that alignment. And you're not going to attract those people anyway because you're too all over the shop. And it's like, yeah, true. I'm actually going to attract the people that want to come on my crazy journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just really trying to figure out who you are and where you are and what you're doing. And it's okay to change it whenever you want. You know, women have got a great reputation for changing our mind.
Yeah. That's a women's prerogative.
That's it. So why even bat an eyelid at it, I say.
Yeah. No, it's there's so much going on worldwide that we have, you know, I mean, we're given the opportunity now to explore, you know, so much, and where we sit, what is dear to our hearts, you know, what do we want to offer the world, how we want to serve, all that stuff. It's in all of us to have the capability of change.
Oh, and we all have it within, but sometimes we need to go to others to pull that out.
Yeah. Yeah,
because we're so caught up in our own crap that we need to get some clarity around what it is from a different point of view.
Yeah.
And you'll navigate that. And, you know, you could come to me and, you know, I coach you through something and you go, that's actually, I've just learned what I don't want now. That's absolutely not what I want. And that's okay, because then you can go in a direction that you do want.
Yeah.
It's always okay to get to that space where it's not right for you or it doesn't work for you, it's not what you want, because you've identified, and okay, it may have made the process a bit longer, but that's okay as well. But once you actually learn that that's not what you want, you can then learn to focus on what you do want. What do you want?
Yeah.
And I think we're all probably a little bit fatigued on I know with me, I'm like, do I create events? And so I often think too, was that an opportunity to have stopped all those? I don't know. And I keep playing over some of this stuff in my head and where I'm headed. And then I just go, what the hell? Just go and play in the paddock with the dogs. And if that's what works, go and do it.
That's it. Yeah. You're going to get some wisdom out of doing exactly that anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. Yeah.
Well, there's no point sitting there just driving yourself crazy and insane because you actually can't get the result you're wanting or expecting other people for. Like, that's the thing too. How often do we go down the track of doing something because it's an expectation what others have of us?
Yeah.
Or it's what we might have in our head that we think others have that expectation of us, and they might not even have that.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, community expectation, that's what they think. And that's really where your monkey mind starts playing havoc with you.
So, what are some tools?
What are some tools? Well, for me, I'm just going to share with you what I do. So for me, journaling and question journaling. I love question journaling. What's that, you might ask? I might ask myself a really big, deep question. So it's like, where do I want to go? What do I want to be? You know, just a question about it. Could be as simple as I could be feeling a bit stuck in something. And so I'll actually ask that question in my journal. I'll write it down. And then I'll just spend some time on it and I'll just start to answer it. It'll be really quite interesting how easy stuff comes out of that. And when you go back and read it, it's quite insightful. Sometimes I go back and read it. Sometimes I just let it go because I just needed to get it out.
Yeah.
For me, I have actually started to also, meditation for me is like key. Meditation is my number one. I need to meditate morning and night. And I must admit, I hadn't been doing that. I've now got back into that. And wow, what a difference. I feel totally refreshed. And I'd forgotten that I wasn't doing it. And I can't even explain to you how I'd forgotten it to get out of the habit, or I got out of the habit, or whatever it was. It just wasn't happening. So meditation for me is incredible. You know, it might be walking for you, going for a swift walk, doing a walking meditation, or just getting out in the fresh air.
Yep.
Get yourself a coach. Start working with a coach.
Yep.
Maybe you've got a friend, but remember, a friend is always going to give you their advice, not an advice that's might have worked for them, not necessarily going to work for you. And so that's one beautiful thing that a coach can bring out for you, is they get you to do the work. And so it's not them doing the work for you. And that means when you're doing the work, you're getting the results you need.
Yeah.
What else? Affirmations. Oh, look, gratitude.
Yeah, I was just going to say gratitude's my number one.
Yes, it's huge.
First thing in the morning, as soon as you open your eyes, like, what are the three things? And mine's changed. You know, over the years, mine's changed.
Absolutely.
You know, I am so grateful for this little man that I've got beside me now. You know, it just brings it's brought joy and happiness and so much love into, and not that we didn't have that before, but
it's different. It's new. It's exciting.
And it's a different, like he's got such a different personality. But so
he's young and vibrant and happy, and
the gratitude there is like huge. You know,
pets do bring a lot of joy.
Yeah. The gratitude that I have for where we live and how beautiful it is to wake with bird song and see trees and a little bit of water, and not that we've got a lot of water, but we've got a little bit of water. But it's just, I am so grateful. I am so grateful that I have really good health. You know, I am so grateful I can put my feet on the ground, that I can open my eyes and see, that I can hear the bird song. Like, I am so grateful that we've got the luxury of flushing toilets and hot showers and
freedom.
Yeah, that's it. It's just beautiful that we
it is. It's just
and it changes who you are. It's
absolutely
when you're grateful for things, it changes how you be in the world.
And I remember when I first started to do gratitude, which was a long time ago now. I remembered I used to have a list, and I used to have to go to it and read it to prompt me.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because you know, you've got to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
But now I find even in my messages to people, I'm so grateful for you, or I'm so grateful that we can have this conversation. I'm so grateful, and it does, as Wendy said, it is absolutely transformational. And if you try it, so affirmations, mantras, whatever works for you, it will change your life, because what it does is it switches that negative thinking as well around, because you're focused on the good in your life instead of the bad.
Yeah.
And, we go on about this all the time about the pie in our life. We can have that pie with a chunk that's got this horrible thing happening. And where do we focus? On that horrible thing happening. Yet we've got all this amazing stuff happening.
Yeah. It's kind of like the bad fruit in the healthy fruit bowl.
Yes.
It will turn all the other fruit bad.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why you've got to address it. You want to remove the bad fruit.
And take responsibility.
And not to say that there's not, you have to acknowledge why those bad, those
absolutely.
thoughts, there may be justified.
Very good reason, absolutely.
Yeah. And we just have to make sure that you're not just parking that, because you know what, if you don't address it, it'll be something that you'll have to deal with. It will start off as a pimple and turn into a massive great boil that will cause you a lot of pain if you don't.
Yes.
There's no, you can't wish things away. You've got to be active or participate in resolving the things that happen in your life, including those thoughts that may be part of that bad fruit that's polluting the rest.
Yes.
But take the opportunity, have a look at it, and maybe it just might be that you need to, what appears in those negative thoughts or that negative chunk just needs for you to change the way that you look at it. Look for the opportunity.
Flip the coin on it is what I say.
Exactly. Yeah. Wayne Dyer often says it, or he wrote the book, Change Your Thoughts, Change You.
Yeah.
Change Your Life.
I love Wayne.
Yeah. And that's a really powerful thing, is that,
and it's true. It's true. If you can find the good in some bad, Pollyanna. I love Pollyanna. Yeah. Find the good in the bad.
Yeah.
You will actually be able to react in a very different manner.
Yep. You'll find the car park that you wanted.
Yep.
The traffic will open up and let you through.
You'll book the trip that you've been wanting to go on.
You'll book the trip because those berths will become available. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's something that we need to just be mindful of. Where are you at? What are you doing? What are you focused on? Where is your mind and where are your thoughts? And allowing yourself to, are you in the negative or positive?
And it's about the boundaries that you put in place there too.
Absolutely.
It's making sure that you don't take on other people's shit, because you
and
don't
taking
need
responsibility. If you're sitting in the negative, take responsibility for it. Don't expect someone to pull you out. Because it's like quicksand. You need to do it yourself.
Yep.
Well, maybe it's not quicksand. That was probably the wrong metaphor, but it is an inside job. You have to do this yourself. It's like self-esteem. I've got a self-esteem 5-day challenge coming up, and you have to do the work yourself. No one can do it for you.
My word for this year is responsibility.
I love it.
2023 is the year of responsibility, not just for me, but for every person.
Yeah.
We all have to go responsible for our lives and what we allow in or out, how we live our lives, taking responsibility for every aspect of our life. Our health, our wealth, and our stability, our security, our spirituality. All of that is all. It's a year of responsibility.
And navigate it however it works for you.
Yeah.
But be responsible for it.
Yeah, own it. You're going to make a choice about, what taking responsibility means that there's going to be choices that you make.
Yeah.
You have to accept those choices come with consequences, and every consequence, you have to own that consequence, and you have to work through it. So if the consequence is not so great, then you have an opportunity then to make a different choice.
Totally. Absolutely.
So, yeah. All right. On that note, we're going to call today's session see you later.
It's a cut.
Yeah, it's a see you later.
See you later, guys. Take care. Be kind. Be sure to follow us. We are on Spotify and on YouTube, and you can find us on our socials and on our website, Self-Love Summit. I have updated some of our socials to Self-Love Podcast to make it a little bit more easier for you. But if you were following us before, you won't be affected because you'll still be there. So take care. Have a brilliant week. Big hugs. Bye for now.
Bye for now.